So this next topic, now we're gonna talk about these last two games, who we got winning and why. All right. So the first game we're gonna talk about is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Bengals. And Javon, you're gonna kick us off with this one. Just tell us who you got this game, who you got winning this game, and why.
It's easy, man. The Chiefs. I mean, the Bengals is nice. I'm not gonna lie. They got a lot of my respect this year. You know, to be honest, it's not because they beat us. Because to be honest, we was handicapped by a quarterback that can't really throw no more. But they're a good team. Like Carl said, their defense is underrated. They got some real good defensive players. Like Mike Hilton, he was with us last year. I know exactly what he can do. He like that. They got good guys on the line. They got good guys everywhere. So Joe Burrow's a stud, good receivers. Like they're loaded. They're loaded, to be honest. I just don't think they're ready. It's not their time yet. They made it far enough. Like you said, the Tannehill led Titans, they beat them, and they beat the Raiders. Which, to be honest, the Raiders not they shouldn't even be in the playoffs. They're not good enough, if you ask me. One thing I want to say about Derek Carr, he tight, he can throw, he can get yards, but he don't throw touchdowns. I think he had like 20 something touchdowns this year. Like he can get yards and all that, but he doesn't put the ball in the end zone. Um, but another reason why, against the Titans, Burrow, I think he got sacked about 9 times. You can't, you get sacked 9 times against the Chiefs, you're not gonna win. Straight up, straight like that. They haven't scored enough touchdowns really. I don't know with Joe Burrow. I think he scored 2 touchdowns the first time. I think the second game, I don't think he scored a touchdown. The second game against the Titans, I don't think he threw a touchdown. You had to score against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they scored 42 on the Steelers, which is not a good defense or offense, really. Defense is good. I'll give defense credit. But their offense is so bad that they put their defense on the field too much. And you can't be on the field too much with the Chiefs. They're going to eat you up. They put 42 on them. They're like, that's the Steelers. Then they play the best passing defense in the league and put 42 on them. Like, I mean, the Bengals haven't even scored 30 yet in the playoffs. So I don't think they're gonna be able to keep up really with the Chiefs. They have the firepower too, but I'm not sure if Joe Burrow is gonna be poised enough in the playoffs. Not even just Joe Burrow, that defense, just the whole team pretty much. That whole defense against Mahomes in the game. Like you really have to be in for a fight with them. So I'm not sure they're gonna be able to hang with them. They're a good young team up and coming. I just don't think it's their time just yet.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like Carl got some pushback for you. That's a face on the
He
other
love
one
the
gonna
Bengals.
get.
He a Raven Bengal fan.
Hey, look, I love the Bengals, man. I love that
He
team.
I
I
ain't
love that
know. I ain't know.
team. Jamar Chase, my
Raven
guy.
Bengal fan.
We start talking about Joe Burrow. He's probably like, "Oh man, I gotta say something about that." Now look, I do think Joe Burrow got the poise. I think they're gonna lose this game because they're not the better team. Straight up, that's just me. I think they're gonna show up. Now I rewatched the last game against the Bengals, the Chiefs, right? And the Chiefs, I think the Bengals won, but the Chiefs lost that game too. To me, right? Listen, Ward,
Tavares Ward.
they DB, right? Number
Yeah.
35.
Hmm.
Listen, y'all remember we was in school, y'all, in middle school, and we go on a field trip and you need a chaperone. The field trip, Jamal Chase gonna take this dude on, he gonna need a chaperone. He cannot guard Jamal Chase one-on-one. They kept putting him on Jamal Chase one-on-one. He baked them every single time. It was only
Yeah.
one time they threw it to Jamal Chase. We didn't catch the ball. And Ward, like you said, Carl, he did one of these, right? But it wasn't even on him, you know? And then they went right back to him on 2 plays later, he scored a TD. And it's funny because when he knocked it down, he like tapped it on accident. He started doing the gritty Ward, right? 2 plays later,
I
he threw it
remember
to
this.
Jamal Chase, did a gritty. I was like, but and then he got those two
See.
penalties in the red zone on the goal line at the end of the game. So now the Chiefs, I think for them to win, first of all, Bengals O line is terrible. Because even in that Chiefs game, they were getting ate up. They kept getting the backfield in that Chiefs game. So he gonna have a lot of pressure this game. So the Chiefs offensive or defensive line still has to create pressure to make it hard for Joe Burrow. Because when Joe Burrow got time, he will find an open man. He did that
Exactly.
against the Titans. Whenever he had some type of time to throw the ball, he found the open man. So I do think Joe Burrow will have poise, but he just under bad circumstances against a team called the Chiefs. Now, don't play Jamal Chase 1-on-one. The Chiefs are playing at home this time. I think that's going to be a benefit. Mahomes and crew, and especially Travis Kelsey, he thrives off that home crowd, right? So I think that's going to benefit a lot. You know, now the Chiefs, they had the only way they'll lose this game, they had to beat themselves. That's the only time they lose that game. Also in that first game, Tyreek Hill dropped the wide, not wide open, but he caught it and he dropped it, that bomb. Even that
Yep.
TD on that kick return, that TD, that holding call they called, that had nothing to do with the play. You watched that holding call. I know he tackled Cuz, but dude was already gone. It had nothing to do with the play. So a lot of things didn't go the Chiefs' way, and they only lost by 3 points. So the Chiefs will be more ready this game. The Chiefs' offense is way more on fire than the Bengals is right now. The Bengals offensively had a tough game last game, you know, and I don't think Jamal Chase gonna repeat what he did the first time they played the Chiefs. So I'm picking the Chiefs to win that game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout, nothing, but I do think it's not gonna be as close as it was with the Bills.
All right, so like I said, I love this Bengals team, but this is where it comes to an end for me. I'm going with the Chiefs too, and this is why.
Yeah.
Mahomes is on another level right now. Now, like I disagree with Javon where he said Joe Burrow don't have the poise, because whenever Joe Burrow was called upon to make a throw, that throw was made. So I don't think it's poise. It's like y'all said, he got sacked 9 times, and that's just sack. That's not pressures. That's not hurry ups. That's not none of that. He got sacked 9 times. And the Chiefs, what they got on their D line? Melvin Ingram, Chris Jones, Frank Clark. They can get pressure. They got pressure against Josh Allen last week. Those guys are good. Like they're, dare I say, premier guys on the line. Another reason why I like the Chiefs is because even though the Bengals won that last game, they shouldn't have won in the regulation. They went for it on 4th and goal and got bailed out when they should have just took the field goal. If they make dumb decisions like that, it's curtains. You can't do that against the Chiefs and Mahomes in the playoffs. Zach Taylor is going to have to coach his butt off, because it's Andy Reid on the other end. Andy Reid got something special cooked up for the AFC Championship. You see, he got stuff cooked up for the second round of the playoffs. We got the trick plays Andy Reid going to come with. So that team putting up points. I do think the Bengals can put up points, though. I don't think Jamal Chase is going to have 266 yards again and 3 touchdowns. That's crazy. That's real hard to repeat. But Jamal Chase is that guy. Maybe they might want to switch it up. Maybe they might want to pull a Jerry Sneed on Jamal Chase instead of Tavares Ward. Maybe they want, if he's playing, if they might put Tyrann Mathieu shade over there a little bit if he's playing. I don't know if he's playing or not. I think he had a concussion last week.
Yeah, so he might not play. That's the scary part.
Yeah. He could play. But that's another thing. The Chiefs defense last week played really well until all hell broke loose in the 2 minutes left in the game. The score was 21-26 with 2 minutes left. That Chiefs defense held that Bills offense to only 3 touchdowns before pandemonium struck the game, and the score ended up being the way it was. The Chiefs defense is another defense to me that is better than what people give it credit for, and they have found their stride. T. Higgins, Jamal Chase, and all of them are really good receivers. Like I said, they're loaded. Joe Mixon, the only one to score last week, he's a really good back. But I don't know if Tyrann Mathieu comes back. That defense, it's the playoffs, man. I'm had to roll with the Chiefs.
Yeah, on the Bills game soon. Matthew got hurt. That's when the Bills start taking control. Go ahead, Javon.
See, it's a different ball game. When I say like poise, I know Joe Burrow has been in big games since college days. I feel like this Bengals team are here. This is their moment. They're like, yo, we here. They letting everybody know, like, yo, we ain't no suckers. We ain't no pushovers. But it's just a different, it's different when you playing against a guy like Mahomes and them. It's just different. You can't make the same mistakes you made with a Tannehill that gave you 3 tries, 4 turnovers. Like, you can't do that because these guys are going to run it up on you. You know what I mean? So I do think they can put up points. I'm just not sure, especially if that line can't hold up. I'm just not sure if they're gonna be able to put up enough points.
Yeah, I feel you, because I feel the same way. But I'm definitely taking the over if I'm betting the game. But what I was I lost my train of thought, and I normally don't do this. Oh man, what was I just about to say? I was about to say something along. The lines of this is what I was gonna say. The Bengals' only turnover last week was a drop pass by a backup running back in the flat who dropped the ball, and Amani Hooker just made an excellent play catching the pick. That was the only turnover they really had last week.
Yeah, Mahomes almost threw 2 picks last week. He threw one.
Number one passing defense too.
Yeah, true. But it wasn't much of defense. It was his accuracy on both of those throws. Because one, he tried to throw it between 2 defenders, and he underthrew it, and he just dropped it. And then one, he tried to throw it to Pringle, I think, and Pringle played defense on it.
Yeah.
And Kadu caught it, and Pringle smacked it out. So sometimes Mahomes, he can't get that like that. But good thing about Mahomes in the playoffs, he does make up for all his mistakes. That's one thing I said about him since he's been in the league. When he makes, the only time Mahomes lose is, of course, the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and when he don't get the ball back in overtime.
Yeah, we're D4 offsides from Mahomes been in 3 straight AFC Championship games. I mean, 3 straight Super Bowls and maybe a 4th.
He's definitely on a mission.
Yeah, and they never out the game.
On a mission.
Yeah. Like we talked about it last week, Carl. I know I said the Titans, but the Bengals also beat them. Like he on a revenge tour. He came out. He beat. Now he got to beat these teams that beat him. He beat Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Then he ended up beating the Bills, who destroyed them. Now he got to beat the Bengals, who beat them, and then he got to recapture his title. And also, y'all. I mean, I'll say it at the next segment. I'll say it in the next segment, but yeah. Thank you for staying to the end. We really appreciate that. If you are listening to this on you or watching this on YouTube, we would like for you to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, etc., we would like for you to follow us on those platforms. Also hit the notification button so you can be notified when we're out. And last but not least, no matter what platform you're listening to or you're watching it on, share it with someone you know, and they could be part of the movement also. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.